I'm Kiara, and I just wanted to do a little story about what I thought about this show called Baby Reindeer. So, when I first heard about this show, it was through TikTok, and it was just a little summary, I guess, of the movie, and just saying that it was about a man who had a stalker. But what made the story really interesting was the fact that the main actor in the movie is the actual man who went through these real life events. So the whole movie is based, or not the whole movie, the whole show is based off of his life and what he experienced. So the show starts by introducing the main character, and the setting is at his job, which is a bar. And this woman comes in, and she's not the most attractive woman, but she comes in high energy, high confidence, and sits down and asks for a drink. I guess the main actor, I guess he was feeling, like a nice guy. So, he gave her the drink for free. And, they were just talking, being friendly. And as the story develops, she keeps coming in, and it kind of becomes a routine. It becomes like a daily thing that they do. And she becomes such a frequent customer there that all the other patrons in the bar know, like, they have a friendship, like, know that there's something there, because they'll joke and they'll flirt and they'll call each other like boyfriend, girlfriend, like stuff like that. But the guy who was the bartender, he knows that it's a joke, but I feel like the girl kind of starts to like feed into this delusion and really believe that that's real. And like for me, I feel like this was already enticing because I'm the type of person, like, I like true crime and like mystery things. So I feel like it was like really interesting to watch how the story kind of unfolded. And throughout this series, it's basically telling the story about how this girl comes into his life, and she ends up stalking him, and like ends up finding like any way she can into his life. And for some reason, he can't bring himself to go to the police about it. And it's very interesting because he actually finds out that she's been convicted of stalking before, but yet he still does nothing to bring awareness to the situation. So he goes on about his life. He really tries to start distancing himself from the girl because he feels her becoming obsessive. So like later on, as the story develops, a lot of dark things are revealed about the main actor, and a lot of things that he went through that led him to the point of having a stalker really came to surface. And through all of this man is a bartender, but he is like a struggling comedian at the same time. So he's also working on his comedy career, but it's not really taking off. And I feel like that's why he also kind of kept his stalker around, because she would show up at his shows and kind of help him do some crowd work, and they would work together to kind of make the crowd laugh and like give him a platform in the comedy industry. So I feel like with that, he didn't really want to get rid of her. He kind of probably saw her as a friend, but later on, the relationship, I feel like, makes more sense when the full story is revealed. So we get this introduction of the stalker, and then eventually it's revealed that previously, before all of this happened, this man was assaulted and taken advantage of for a long time by someone he trusted very dearly, and someone that he believed that was trying to help him advance his career. And he talks a lot about his struggle with addiction and substance abuse, and just being around toxic people, and how it really affected him and his sexuality, and he kind of just didn't know how to like navigate life from there. So fast forward, after he goes through all of this, he's finally, I think, content with himself, because he, in order to get through everything, he just put it all on the table. He was at a comedy show. This was really his big break, and the girl had came in, or no, what happened? So And during all this time with his stalker, he never went to the police, but he eventually went to the police because the woman that he was seeing, which is actually a transgender woman, which comes into play later, she was assaulted by his stalker and, called slurs, just called foul things. And that was like the last straw for him because he really found himself falling in love with this woman. And so that was the last straw from him. He went to the police, tried to tell the police everything about it, but the police were not really taking him serious, considering the fact that they found out that he was kind of like entertaining the situation, but then he was also trying to force the girl to say things. But the whole time the stalker was recording him and recording all their conversations, so she kind of used that evidence against him in the long run, and the police kind of didn't take their whole situation seriously. And it wasn't taken serious until one day the stalker snapped and she went off telling him a lot of crazy things, very unprovoked. And he went to police, and like that was the last straw. And the police took it seriously, and I believe that she ended up coming to the police station and pleading guilty. I think he had a moment where he came to heart with her and telling her that like what she's doing is not right, and like it will never be right. So she did end up just confessing and telling the police, yeah, she did that, and left him alone from there. And that was really the last we heard of the stalker. And then it kind of goes more into how this man is trying to transition to his new life now. He moved on with the transgender woman, and they had a relationship that kind of dwindled out over time. And he kind of found himself feeling like empty, feeling real lonely. And at the end of the movie, at the end of the series, he's basically states about how everything he went through kind of played a part into him not ever feeling like he could love anyone, he could be loved. Like nothing left him feeling whole and filling the void that he needed after his assault, after his career fail, like after everything that he was going through, nothing really made him feel good. And he states that in some ways that the stalker gave him everything she wanted. She gave him that validation, she gave him that attention, that obsession, that kind of like loving feeling that he was really craving. And I feel like it was just kind of interesting to watch everything come full circle, because this man is reliving his trauma through a series and retelling his story all over again. And like keeping that in mind kind of just makes you really empathize with the character and really feel what he's going through, because it's not every day that you see these horrific true stories with the main person actually acting out the story. So I thought that was really interesting. And I just feel like this show is a really good and interesting show to watch, and it has a different perspective on like storytelling, because it's the actor's version of the story, and it's the actor's life of what is happening. So I feel like it was just very interesting because it's not something that you see every day. And it's very, I don't want to say crazy, but it's very like interesting to see what people can go through, and very interesting to see how their experiences make them who they are, no matter how crazy it is. And I feel like it would just be a very good show for anyone to watch that is interested in things like true crime and stuff like that. But yeah, I just feel like it was really interesting, and people should go watch it.